I don't know, but I think an ice he knows.
อัน nice
หลวงพี่ทำไมโยนอย่างนี้อ่ะเดี๋ยวแป๊บนึงครับหลวงพี่ตัวเดี๋ยวนะแป๊บนึงนะหลวงพี่หลวงพี่เห็นผมไหมอ่ะ
ยังครับ
หมอก็เห็นแต่กระรอกเหรอ
แฮมสเตอร์หรือเปล่า
back to meeting
Okay so good morning here good evening over there
Good evening.
Yesterday I had to leave a little early yeah. So today we are again in the Tika, a group of 3, okay? And yesterday I requested you all to prepare a short talk, and if possible, no script. Okay, no script, and just tell.
Can I have a bullet point?
Yes, bullet points are fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bullet point as a Thai language.
Okay, whichever, but you have to speak in English. Okay, so who is going to speak first?
Actually, the story of Buddha, we have to start with the beginning, not an nice, no?
beginning ใช่
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be อาจารย์ท่านตัวเนี่ย
Where is ตัวท่าน nice?
ต้วนน่าจะ
Run away.
prepare
Run away because of homework, huh?
Actually, today, I just knew that in one temple in my province, there are some event like a tuition for the learners who prepared to do the exam, Nakam To.
อ๋อ
Okay.
Yes, and someone called me, and then I sent Tantua to that temple.
Okay.
But just now, I saw he came back,
อ๋อ
but
มาแล้ว
I
เหร
don't
อ
know why.
เย้
I don't know why he's not here right now. But
Okay.
he just came back before this, just 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
All
he
right.
needs rest.
Okay. Then in that case, let's start from Tan Ice. Okay, Tan Ice.
ครับกราบนมัสการพระอาจารย์ครับLord Buddha he was born on 50th day of the 50th day of the 6th month 15 ค่ำเดือน 6 ครับ 50th day of the 6th month he was ทำนาย by อสิตาดาบททำนายอะไรนะครับอาจารย์
Predict.
predict
Predict.
อสิตาดาบทthat in the future he will be มหาบุรุษ and ตรัสรู้เป็นพระอรหันตสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้า
Like that.
ใช้ enlighten ได้ไหม
Enlighten. Enlighten. ตรัสรู้
after Friday King สุทโธทนะ meeting
Invite.
and right
Invite.
Invite.
เชิญชวน
เชิญ
invite
เชิญชวน
invite เชิญชวน invite family และเครือญาติ
family and relatives
อ่า
ขออีกรอบหนึ่งครับอาจารย์
relatives
family and relative
relative อ๋อ
ท่านสุชนเอากระดานขึ้นมาสิเจ้าคะแล้วเขียน
วันนี้พิมพ์ไม่ได้
อ๋อ
แล้วก็ เพื่อ for
เนี่ย
select his name
naming ceremony
naming ceremony
meaning ceremony
ceremony
naming ceremony
จริงไหม
naming
ceremony
ceremony naming ceremony ceremony
and then
and then palm พราหมณ์กี่คนนะครับผมพี่ตอนเนี้ยพราหมณ์8 คนพราหมณ์8 คนครับ
108 เปล่า
108 ครับ
100 and อะไร
พราหมณ์108 person คัดเลือกเหลือ 8
out of 108 yeah selected 8
selected 8
selected
for predicted
for prediction
for prediction for prediction for prediction
predict ด้วยสิเจ้าคะ predict
prediction ว่า prediction
prediction นี่โอ้
and
สนุกมีกระดานด้วย
and then prime 7 person was predicted 2.1 he will กษัตริย์ที่ยิ่งใหญ่ 2
depressing
จักรพรรดิ
จักรพรรดิ
ใช้คำอะไรเจ้าคะ
จักรพรรดิ
empire ใช่ไหม empire
emperor
emperor
Will turning monarch.
จักรพรรดิ
emperor
What do you call in Thai?
emperor หรือเปล่า
or emperor
MPRO
Hmm.
and 2
okay carry on talking okay
Okay.
just a minute okay I need to call this I have to accept this call
อะไรนะครับหลวงพี่
คือมีสายโทรเข้ามา
อ๋อ
okay Do you want to have his number? Okay, just let me check here. Nice. So his number is 07733 103 097.
อ๋อ and relationship เหรอ relation เครือญาติเราหลวงพี่
relative
Yeah.
relative
relative
Okay.
relative
พร้อมใจกันให้พระนามว่า พร้อมใจกัน หรือเหมือนพร้อมใจกันมีมติ อะไรเงี้ยครับ หมอนิด
นะ
มีมติ
conclude ไหม conclude
conclude
สรุป
สรุป
conclude หรือใช้ choose ก็ได้ choose เลือกได้ไหม
เลือกอ๋อ
choose the name
choose the name
No, all the 10, all the 8 Brahmins decided to give a name. But
decide
when they were asked to predict or look for his future, and seven of them
7 of them
told 2 and only one told 1.
อ๋อ
Okay.
นั่นหมายความว่าพราหมณ์ทั้ง8คนเป็นคนคัดเลือกชื่อก่อนใช่ไหมครับพระอาจารย์
ใช่
อ๋อครับ
Okay.
and then relative choose that สิทธัตถะ that mean ผู้มีความสำเร็จ สมใจ ปรารถนาสิ่งที่ตั้งใจทำ
fulfillment
Fulfillment.
fulfillment
Fulfillment
F U L F I double L M E N T fulfillment
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 where is wrong
L.
yeah.
L ตัวเดียว
Okay.
ครับผมจบแล้วครับถึงตอนตั้งชื่อ
Okay. Who is next?
ใช่เปล่า
น่าจะจบแล้วนะครับ เพราะว่า
เพิ่งเกิดมาได้5 วันเองนะ
ของผมถึงตอนตั้งชื่อครับพระอาจารย์
Okay.
พูดนานๆหน่อยหมอจะได้ไม่ถึงตอนหมอ
you have only 5 days but I have many years especially Monit
ผม5 วันพอ
you have just 5 days
อ๋อ
I have to say about 1 week เลย
Okay. Who is next?
not 45 years
ถึงจะสั้นแต่เป็นโมเมนต์สำคัญครับ ช่วงชีวิตสำคัญ นี่ได้อยู่
Okay. So who is next?
okay so let me start okay after naming right?
after naming เป็นท่านจี๊บเหรอ
Yes, after naming that just passed for 5 days and on seventh day the master of Siddhartha prince had passed away. And then when Siddhartha prince, or should I call Prince Siddhartha
Prince
or
Siddhartha.
Siddhartha? Okay, Prince Siddhartha. Okay, Prince Siddhartha. When he was 7 years old, at the time, his father make a pound, three seasons pound
Palace.
palace of palace, 3 seasons palace for him.
Or castle.
Oh, Washington, he is coming.
อ่า
Okay, okay, I will continue first. So after me, we have Tantua. Oh, Tantua, you want to say something? He said that he's
มา
not
เลย
ready.
มาเลยประสบการณ์นะคะ
Okay.
Okay, after Prince Siddhartha got 3 seasons castles, then he had the chance to study with the teacher Viswamit, and learned about 18 subjects. And one day he got the first stage of meditation under the tree that called ต้นว่า
Rose apple.
ชมพู rose apple tree. And when he was 16 years old, he got married with the Princess Yasothara or พระนางพิมพา. And after that, he got a chance to travel in the town that his father ordered the people, like old people, to hide in the houses to make the Prince Siddhartha think that he will not die. And but finally Prince Siddhartha, he saw the 4 signs. They are an old man, a sick man, and a dead man, and a monk. After that, he thought that, oh, I will die. Exactly, everyone has to die. And then he got the thought to renounce. And one day he decided to run away from escape from his castle. And with a Kantaka horse and Channa, and then he renounced with his mind and cut his hair by himself with his sword or his dagger. Yeah. I think now it's your turn, Wanit.
Okay. Who is next?
Oh, I forgot something to tell you. The age when he renounced, he was at 29 years old.
At the 29 years old, he left the palace.
Oh, and he got one son, named
Good. Okay. Okay. Who is next? Is that Tita Dhammo?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Okay, now
Oh, yeah, it's a cat.
Tita Dhammo's turn now. Okay.
Yes.
After the renouncement until the enlightenment. So
Okay. So after he renounced his worldly life and all the comforts and luxuries of being a prince, he strove to find enlightenment. And after being a summoner, he went looking for teachers. So he found the two of the greatest teachers in India at the time, Alara,
Alarada.
Alara,
Alarada.
Alarada,
Araradabot.
yeah, Uddaka Ramaputra, Alara Kalama and Uddaka Ramaputra. And Alara Kalama was had reached a high level of worldly attainment. I think the sixth or seventh jhana, fourth jhana,
Seven.
fourth jhana. But he realized that this was not enough for nirvana, for the cessation of suffering. So when he found Uddaka Ramaputra, he had reached the Neva Sanya Nasanya, realm of perception and neither perception nor non-perception. I think that's the eighth. Samapatti.
Eight.
That
Yes,
is that's the highest jhana you can reach with samatha. But he realized all this is a very high level of mental concentration, and he was not gaining any insight from this. He realized that I cannot find the cause or the cessation of suffering here. So he decided that this is not enough, and at this time he was living in various jungle thickets and with his teachers. So he left on good terms with the teachers and decided to find his own way. And he eventually walked all around Magadha, and I don't know if he walked all over India, but he arrived near Buddha Gaya in Benares, in Magadha kingdom at the time, in the shores of Neranjana River, place called Uruela at the time. And he started practicing ascetic practices, Atta Kilmatanu Yoga. And at this time, there were five fellow Shramanas who joined him in the pursuit of enlightenment. One of them was Venerable, he wasn't venerable at the time, but it was Kondanya, one of the
priest.
one of the priests who's the one who raised the hand and said he will be the Buddha in his naming ceremony. So him and his five friends together strove to find enlightenment, and they did this by practicing very extreme asceticism, breath control, um, and he described he tried to find the ecstasy of non-breathing and the concentration of non-breathing, but there was nothing that he couldn't find any wisdom from it. So he started practicing food, um, extreme not moderation, like avoidance of food, eating very fasting, yeah, fasting. And he did this for 6 years. He was so extreme this fasting that he was basically just a skeleton covered in skin. He said that his stomach was so sunk in that if you touch the front of the stomach, you would touch your backbone. And likewise, if you touch your backbone, you will be touching the front of your stomach skin. He was very close to death. And through this, he realized that eventually he came to the realization when he also remembered this experience that Tanais described when he was a child of being under the rose apple tree and achieving the fourth jhana. He realized that this I don't I don't need to, kill myself like this. Don't need to have these extreme ascetic practices. So he sort of realized the middle path. But when he wanted to practice the dhyana meditation that he did before, he realized there was no energy in his body. He couldn't even keep his body upright when he was sitting in meditation because he had just nothing left, no energy. He was so close to death. And this is when he realized that I have to eat something. And the story is that Sujata, the I think she was a milkmaid, offered some milk rice to the Buddha, and he accepted this. And when he accepted this, his five friends left him because they thought he gave up. Now he is indulging again. He is back to the worldly pursuit of karma, pursuing karma sukalika yoga, karma sukalikanu yoga. So he gave up on his pursuit of enlightenment. So they left him. But after he ate this milk rice, he I think I saw somewhere he was describing that he could feel the energy rushing through his body, that he felt his blood was pumping again. He felt like he was saved from death. And with this, he gained enough energy to concentrate. And this way, he reached again the fourth dhyana and then kept going, kept gaining more and more wisdom. And eventually, he gained the four knowledges, right? Attained the four knowledges,
for noble truth.
four noble truths.
อริย
The
สัจสี่
the cause of suffering,
Suffering.
the suffering. He understood what suffering was, what dukkha was, and he understood the cause of dukkha, craving, and he found the way out of suffering to nibbana. It said that he also saw all his past lives, the arising and the vanishing away of all beings, the Dhamma Chakku, and finally destroyed avidya and saw vidya. And with this, he became the Buddha because he found it all out by himself. Then there was, it said that after he gained enlightenment for 7 days, he contemplated on Paticca Samuppada, suffering, and I don't know what, there was another thing, right?
ธรรมธรรมจักรกัปปะรัตนสี
Yeah.
Paticca Samuppada.
Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination, and also just in the bliss of enlightenment. And after that, I think it's Munit.
Yeah. So, so he enlightened at the age of 35. Yeah. So enlightenment was a four noble truth. Yeah. So dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, and magga. Yeah. And before he enlightened, or before he attained four noble truth, he gained the three knowledges first. Okay, that Thantita Dhammo explained that he was able to comprehend his previous lives, yeah, and then also able to comprehend other beings' life, yeah, then how they reborn and how they will continue their lives, yeah? And then after that he was able to attain, it's called asavakkayayana, which Tantita Dhamma said, eradication of all the taints. And after that, he was enlightened by understanding the Four Noble Truths. Okay? And then after he enlightened, Tantita Dhamma said only 1 week. Actually, he spent 7 weeks in the vicinity of the Bodhi tree, contemplating in different ways and different doctrines. And but one of the weeks, he was contemplating on the Paticca Samuppada in various ways. Okay, and in various ways. And then actually on that week, He thought that the Paticcasamuppada or dependent origination is so deep and so subtle. People are engaged in craving a lot, a lot of greed, hatred, and entertaining in karma gunas. So it's very difficult for them to understand, and it's a painstaking. So rather than going to teach, I rather sit, meditate, and stay here. So at that time, then Brahma, Dhampati came down to reconsider his thoughts. So after that, he reconsidered and looked at the world, and the Buddha realized that there are beings, human beings who are eligible or capable of understanding the teachings. And that's how he proclaimed that now on he's going to teach. Okay? So this is at the time of the enlightenment, what happened. Okay? And now, Monit, your turn. From enlightenment on. Okay? You can tell
teacher,
brief.
teacher, you can say everything.
You can tell us in brief, 8 or 80 years.
I would take 80 years.
just 45 years, no, Monit?
Why? Yeah.
If you spend 1 minute or 1 year, you can have 45 minutes.
Okay, go on.
I can't remember.
1 year per 1 minute.
I must have the clip.
Nice.
ถึงไหนละ
Why I asked if you wanted ice.
หมอ
when
short talk นะ short talk
when Buddha consider to teach, he thought and consider who he want to teach first. Who he should teach for the first. He thought about Aladabot and Uttakadabot. That is, they were Buddha teacher for concentration, and but they are dead already. So the next he
thought
he thought about five companions. So when he met 5 companions, he taught อะไรนะ he taught ธรรมจักรปวัตนสูตร ธรรมจักรปวัตนสูตร at Deer Park or อิสิปตนะมฤคทายวัน the first teaching is ก่อนนึกไม่ออกอ่ะจำไม่ได้
ท่านจิ๊บ
บรรลุเหรอ first teaching หรือ first follower who can have the Dhammajakku who can understand Dhamma.
First teaching about Mark 8 8 noble path ใช่ป่ะ
Is that right? First teaching was in a Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta?
No.
Okay. What is the right one?
To extreme way.
Yes. Okay.
To extreme way that we should not do it.
ก็อันนี้ก็อยู่ในธรรมจักรปวัตนสูตรอ่ะ
but มันไม่ใช่ first Okay, but there's not
ฮะ
not first teaching
เนี่ย
It's
เดี๋ยว
first
หมอเอาสูตรมา
No,
ยืนยันเลยเนี่ย
Monit,
Dino Dhammo.
Huh?
Monit.
two
Okay.
ways ก่อนนะ two extreme
อะไร
ways
อะเจ้าคะ
Kanchip says right.
ว้าวอันเนี่ยปฐมเทศนาเนี่ย
So first, Buddha taught two extremes.
ใช่ ทางสุดโต่ง
Dhamma
สองสาย แล้วก็อริยสัจสี่อ่ะ พร้อมกันไม่ใช่เหรอเจ้าคะเนี่ย
Yes.
ค่อยไปyeah step by step but first step is two ways two extreme ways okay go ahead
Anais, is that right? Is that right?
ท่านจิ๊บ said right
Right.
Correct.
Okay. Kanchip Dhammo.
Sorry,
Which one?
I would say Ajahn Chip.
Yeah. So, Kanchip is
I protest
Okay, I
No.
will
Yeah.
read
I
to you.
in chat room เนี่ย
hashtag
search
เซฟหมอนิด
no.
เซฟหมอนิดด้วยครับ
No.
Dhamma
Okay, I will show you on it.
I search this in เนี่ยเว็บไซต์
Okay, make sure
การเบิร์นสีพัน .org เนี่ยธรรมจักรกับป่าวัฒนสูตร ก็อันแรกก็พูดถึงทางสุดโต่ง แล้วก็พูดอริยสัจสี่อ่ะ
Yes, and evidence.
That's the two extremes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
อืม
Dave me bhikkave anta pabbajitena na sevitabba katame dve.
Yeah. So two extremes. Okay.
ใช่ two extreme แล้วก็ต่อด้วย
Yo,
ต่อ
cha-
ด้วยfour noble truth
At four pass
Dino
Chai.
Dhammo Pattu
Echo pass.
Jaya Anariya.
ทางสุดโต่ง
and
คือ
Okay.
S
and
four
follow
pass
the truth.
Okay.
I am right
No.
Okay. Let me tell you. In Dhammachakkapavattana Sutta, first, Buddha talked about two extremes. And after that, Buddha talked about Eightfold Noble Path. And then after that, Buddha talked about Four Noble Truths. And
Yes.
after Four Noble Truths, Buddha talked about 12 links of Four Noble Truths. And after 12 links of Four Noble Truths, Buddha talked about the celestial beings understood the teachings. And after that, Kondanya got the Dhammachakku.
อืม
Okay?
ใช่
This
เป็น
is
โส
how.
ดาบัน เป็นโส
Yeah.
ดาบัน
So that's why in Dhammachakkapavattana Sutta, first of all, Buddha talked about two extremes, not Eightfold Noble Path.
ก็ two extreme แล้วก็บอกว่าเป็นทางสายกลางไงซึ่งทางสายกลางคือ S four noble
Okay.
Let me read it.
Okay.
Dave
Okay, let me.
เนี่ยพี่หมอหามาให้อ่ะทางแชทรูมอ่ะ I search
Okay. Go on. What next?
ท่านจีมาyou say พูดต่อเลย
ไม่เอา no don't งอนอย่างอน
I can't remember อ่ะ
Okay. What next?
อ่ะthe second sermon is อนัตตลักขณสูตร
Actually, second sermon was not the Anatta Lakhana Sutta. That was the third.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's the third one. And
ไม่ใช่ the second
no.
is อนัตตลักขณสูตร that cause ปัญจวัคคีย์
No, after the Dhammachakkapavattana Sutta, two monks went for Pindapata. While two monks went for Pindapata, Buddha was talking another sutta for 3 monks. And then after they established in Sotapanna later, he spoke the Anattalakhana Sutta. So then all the 5 ascetics become an Arahat after hearing the Anattalakhana Sutta. So that's why people popularly known that Anattalakhana Sutta is the second one, but in fact is not the second one.
What's the news? Second one.
The
Yeah,
second
please,
one,
again.
second
Please
one
tell
is
about the second.
Hemawata Sutta.
ฮะเหมะ
Okay.
ที่ไอ้ค้นมามันเป็นอันเนี้ยอ๋อแสดงว่ามันผิดเหรอ
Okay, and that's how I said popularly known that Anattalakhana Sutta is the second, but not the second.
Me too.
Okay.
And you tell the second is เหมะ
Hemawata Sutta.
เหมะวัตสุตตะ please write เขียนนี่เขียนน่ะ
Huh?
please write in the screen
Okay. In the chat room, you can write Hemawata.
เหมะวัตนสูตรเหรอ
Hemawata.
Spelling right?
เหมะวัตสูตรเหรอเจ้าคะ
Okay. Monit, do not search at the moment now. This is how we are learning. So speak. Speak. Tell what's going on after enlightenment. You can do it later. Okay, speak. This is learning time.
Okay
Search
I
is
will
later.
read script when Buddha taught Anattalakhana Sutta to Panchavakkhi
Yeah.
five first group of monks
Yeah.
yes and all of them become arahant and then when the Buddhist community had grown to around 60 monks so Buddha told them to wandering around to teach and ordain people into the community. Buddha had many followers, and some become to be important monks, such as two star monks. 2 star 2 star สารีบุตรพระสารีบุตร and พระมหาโมคคัลลานะ looks like left and right arm of Buddha and อานันทะพระอานนท์become เรียกอะไรอ่ะ the closer
Attendant.
the closer and supporter and take care Buddha and so many such as พระมหากัสสปะพระมหากัสสปะพระอะไรนะพระที่ตัดนิ้วอ่ะตัดนิ้วคน
องคุลิมาน
พระองคุลิมานแล้วก็พระราหุลand then there is ภิกขุณี and first ภิกขุณี is พระมหาประชาบดีโคตมี that is step mother and Buddha had 3 supporters three important supporter. One is King Pimpisan, and the second is Mrs. วิสาขา ถูกไหมนางวิสาขา Mrs. วิสาขา and the third is อนาถบินทิกะ merchant นะ ได้ไหม
The rich man ได้ไหม The rich man
yes
Millionaire.
and
millionaire oh, yeah.
millionaire
millionaire
and also Buddha had enemy. He is เทวทัต big from his cousin to be Buddhist monk and try to spread Buddhist community. And he had supporter King อภิชาติศัตรู
อาชาติศัตรู
ชื่ออะไร
Ajatasattu.
อาชาติศัตรู
อาชาติศัตรูโอ้ยจำไม่ได้อ่ะ King อาชาติศัตรู that try to kill his father King พิมพิสาร right
Not try, he killed.
He successfully killed.
ใช่ตายด้วย
Okay.
And then at the last Buddha die at Kusinara and the final words are วยธรรมมาสังขาราอัปปมาเทนะสัมปาเทถะ that is all sankhara decay strive for the goal with diligence. I can
Okay,
conclude.
thank you very much. Well done. So, anyone has got anything to ask one another?
Don't ask me.
วันนี้แกล้งท่านไอซ์
แกล้งท่านไอซ์เหรอ โอเค ได้เลย
Okay. Anyone has got anything to ask one another?
ท่านไอซ์from Monet's story, from Monet's talk, I really want to know what was the cause of death of the Lord Buddha.
What was the cause of a death? Okay.
What สาเหตุเหรอหลวงพี่
ใช่
สาเหตุที่อะไรนะครับ
ท่าน
Buddha dead
พระพุทธเจ้า
ปรินิพพาน
เสด็จปรินิพพาน
What was the cause?
I don't know really ภาษาไทยยังไม่รู้เลยครับว่าสาเหตุที่พระองค์ปรินิพพานนี่คืออะไร
ท่านไอ
นัก
ซ์
ทำตรี
You can ask back to Monit because she
ว้าว
ขอเดาได้ไหมครับ อายุไขไหมครับ
no
Okay, Monit.
From eating
what
from eating the last meal
what was the last meal
สุกระอะไรอ่ะ
สุกระมัตวะ
สุกระมัทวะ
Yeah.
สุกระมัตวะ
Okay.
สุกระมัทวะ that may be pig meat
or some kind of mushroom that pig likes to eat. We have two meanings of sukara mandawa. First one is meat of pig.
I think maybe food poisoning.
Food poisoning.
Maybe from food poisoning.
I heard somewhere that is mesenteric infarction. Like he started He went into shock because there was bleeding in the bowels from the pork.
from the pork.
Some says that's a pork, others say that is a kind of a mushroom. Okay, so we do not know definitely what that is, but all what we know that Buddha knew beforehand that this food has a poison, or it can poison rest of other monks. But because of his the Buddha wanted to maintain Chunna's faith. He accepted that food, but asked all the monks not to have it. And so Chunna has to throw it away. And Buddha even told him how this food should be discarded. Okay, so the Buddha took that food as a last meal, and he maintained while he was with this Chunna's family. I mean, after he left to the temple, then all the consequences began. So bleeding, and then later on he just took rest and Parinipan, entered to the Parinipan. Okay.
Oh, he had bleeding too.
Yes.
Is it true he still walked all the way to Sarnath?
Yeah, he walked from there until the Saranath all day. Yeah, along the way he took so many rests. Okay. Right, so I will show you in pictures in a brief, and I will explain to you the life of the Buddha in pictures. Okay.
Maybe from lower GI bleeding.
You see the slide now?
Yes, I can see.
So part 1, this is the Buddha's birth in Lumbini 563 BC, present day Nepal. This picture, okay? And this is ascetic Asita Asita visits the Siddhartha and paying respect to the Siddhartha. Okay? Now you can check which topic or which story you missed. Okay. So Asita was royal family guru, advisor. So he was in the heavens when Siddhartha was born, and all the devas were just having entertainment and celebrating of Buddha's birth.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Look, they're all the men.
Okay.
Very lazy artists.
So later he came down on earth and then to pay a visit to the Siddhartha. And this is the naming day that Than Ice was explaining. And you can see all the 7 ascetics were very old, whereas Kondanya, who is raising his only one finger here in the middle, is very young. So on that day, it was naming ceremony, and then also the prediction of the future. He would be either the king, emperor, or the Buddha. Okay. And okay, this is from the previous teaching. Okay. And there's a prince meditate after escaping from the crowd royal ceremony. When he was young, there was a plowing ceremony, and the prince was fed up with just sitting and looking at that. So he went away and meditate under the rose apple tree. Okay, and this is again this. Okay, and so this is the second time that King Suddhodana paid respect to the Siddhartha, his own son. And this is under the rose apple tree who he was meditating. And this is at the before the marriage, there were a contest, exhibition of the power and skills. So this is where Prince Siddhartha was exhibiting his arts and sciences. Okay, and this is and how he got married with Pimpa and Yasodhara that Tanchit was explaining. Yeah?
Indra.
Kimbha or Yasodhara, two names. So this is a marriage with Yasodhara. Yeah. This is marriage. And this is after the marriage, they stayed together. And here again, this time he was thinking to go out from the palace to see the village, the city. And his father actually took away all those sick people, old people, yeah. And somehow he managed to see all four signs of life. And that's how he decided to become a monk or ascetic, give up a palace. So this is another picture. And on that night, he came back and staying at the palace, and there was plenty of entertainments, but he felt very boring and he slept. So when he woke up, he saw all the people sleeping, snoring like a dead people. Okay, and then he picked at Yasodhara and her son, but he didn't go and approached, so he left before that. Sorry, left without telling them. So this is Channa, then Chandaka left the Kapilavastu. And this is a place he used his own sword to cut his hair and become an ascetic. And the legend says that the Brahma or Indra, some says Brahma, some says Indra, came down to accept that hairs of the Siddhartha. And here, the first night and first day, the Buddha, after becoming an ascetic, he went around begging food in the city of King Bimbisara, and he realized that this monk is not simple. This monk is so calm and so collected and so serene. So he asked one of his soldiers to follow. Then he came back later to discuss with him, and King Bimbisara offered half a land. But the Buddha said that I am not here to govern or be a king, but I am in search of the truth. Okay? And this time, this is the Alaradabot, yeah, Alaradha Rama's institute.
We really were tigers.
Okay, and then so this is the place where he studied, and this is again this is only one picture here, but it's two people, okay, Aladara Ram and Udagata Ram institution. And this time he was meditating, and you see there are 5 ascetics companions are helping, looking after, providing a care. And if you remember, Tita Dhammo said that when the Buddha was meditating, he could touch the bones from the front, and he could feel the front part from the back. It took almost death. Yeah. And then while he was meditating, so he found that this is not the right path. So he had to find the middle path. Yeah. And this is a Sujata offer this milk rice. And after he took this milk rice for the first time, again, his 5 companions left. Yeah, but Buddha continued practicing, and there's a Mara comes, disturb him, not allowing him to be attend the enlightenment. So you can see here the Buddha is pointing to the earth. So earth has a
ท่าน
proof.
ผู้ชม
Yes.
ท่านผู้ชมเจ้าค่ะ
ใช้กิ่งไม้ก็ได้นะครับแต่ผม
คนที่มาดีดพินสองสายที่บอกพระพุทธเจ้า
เล็กครับปราก
ดี
ฏ
ด
ว่า
พิน
นะครับ
เป็น
ได้ประมาณ
เป็นพระพรหมหรือว่า
เป็น
เป็นเทวดานะเจ้าค่ะ
เอาเลยครับก็กัน
ที่บอกว่าดีดพินสองสาย ไม่ตึง
สาม
เกินไป
สาย
ไม่หย่อนเกินไปอะ
ตามสาย
This one. What do you
พิน
think?
สาม
angels
ชี้ลงด้านล่างนะครับเนาะ
The four daughters of Mara.
No,
เรานอน
this is a middle class.
ด้านล่าง
Oh yeah.
เดวะ เดวะเหรอจำไม่ได้
นี้นะ
พระอินทร์ใช่ไหมอินทราป่ะเจ้าค่ะ
So we don't have exact what is the story. Some say in
ได้นะครับจำได้สัก 80% ได้อยู่ได้อยู่
okay. Some says the musicians. Okay,
คือ
คนชัน
we don't have exact.
What's the story?
When the Buddha was
Musician.
meditating, he
ให้ไม้มันชี้ลง
เนรมิตลงมาเป็นมิวสิเชียนเนี่ยเหรอเจ้าค่ะ
when he was meditating and he realized that this is not the right path, okay, and that moment he was struggling, and then some stories says that the Indra came down and played the sitar, the music, and saying that if you make it too tight, then it will break, and if you make it too loose, then it won't make a sound. So you have to make it middle, and if you make it middle way, it brings the beautiful sound. And then some other historians says that it was a group of musicians were traveling through that nearby, and one musician was teaching his apprentice that when you are playing playing music, you cannot make it string too tight or too loose. You have to make it middle. Only then it brings the beautiful sound. So after hearing that, Buddha reflected, and Buddha realized that he was practicing two extremes, and he gave up, right? And that's how he came to eat decided to eat, and again so he ate the rice milk, and then he gained the strength to practice. But in the same time, other 5 ascetics or companions who were helping him decided that now Buddha going back to the indulgence, so they left him, okay. But he continued practicing with his determination and dedication, and while he was practicing, the Maras came down and disturbed him and claiming the throne that is not belongs to him, and what is the proof that this is belongs to you. At that time, then the Buddha points the finger to the earth, that earth is my proof that I have done good merits for eons of the time, okay. And the legend says that this Ganga river came as a proof, okay, to defend from the Maras. And this is again 3 daughters of the Mara came and tried to seduce the prince before he became enlightened, okay. And this is again the story similar, the Ganga pour the water, and this is again the story, okay. And this
กัง
is the
กัง
place,
กาคือใครอะเจ้าค่ะ กังกา
คงคา
อ๋อ
Is it the same body that put
คงคา คงคา
Sri Lanka.
Oh yeah. That's Sri Lanka. No, this is not Sri
No,
Lanka.
I mean the Saplin.
Hmm.
Okay, and so this is the place where the Buddha enlightened, and this tree is from Buddha Gaya, present day in Buddha Gaya, but this sapling came from Sri Lanka. Okay, the first one was destroyed here, and then from Sri Lanka replanted here. Yeah. Okay, So this is how then Buddha become enlightened. And this is a Buddhagaya Chaitya. Yeah. So this Chaitya, again, in the past, it was occupied by the Mahantas, the Hindu priests. Later, a Sri Lankan man called Anagarika fought for it, and it's freed, but still now it's not completely freed. And then this Buddha statue was established inside this Chaitya. Okay. And then this is during the time when he was after enlightenment. He spent 7 weeks that Tantita Dhammo mentioned, and one of the 7 weeks there was a heavy rain, and this snake, a serpent, came and protect the Buddha from rain and cold. And that this is the time when the Buddha was reflecting the Paticcasamuppada and thought that this is very hard for people to understand. And knowing the Buddha's thought, Brahma Sahampati came down and request for reconsider. And after that, he realized the 4 types of a people, equivalent with the 4 types of a lotus. Okay, and then he decided to go and teach the 5 ascetics.
Actually in Tipitaka is 3 ไม่ใช่หรอ?
Yes, in Tipitaka 3.
Some of sutta, some 3, some of the 4.
But basically, famously known as 4. Okay, in that sutta he mentioned only 3. Okay, and these are the 5 ascetics came to listen the Buddha, and then the first person to realize the Dhamma was the Venerable Kandanya, who is very old. Okay, and that was after hearing the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. At the end, Yankinchi samudaya dhammang sabbantang nirodha dhammanti. Okay, that was the last verse that he realized. Okay? And that's how he became a Dhamma. He attained the Dhamma eye. And after that, again, this you missed. Okay, Yesa Kulaputta. Okay, he was also similar, very wealthy, and had a similarly 3 palaces as the Buddha. And then he fed up with that luxury, and he came.
I don't miss, but I forgot.
Okay. And then later he went on to teach these 3 ascetics, Uruvela Kassapa, Nadi Kassapa, and Gaya Kassapa, and all together there were 1,003 disciples. And this time again, these were the Uruvela Kassapas, along with the Buddha, came to see the Bimbisara, and Bimbisara was confused that whom he should pay respect, because Uruvela Kassapa, Nadi Kassapa, and Gaya Kassapa were the well-respected ascetics in that city. But after that, the Buddha requested the Uruvela Kassapa, whom you ordain for. Yeah, and then he paid respect to the Buddha, and that's how Bimbisara got that the Buddha is the master of them. And this is 2 Sariputta and Moggallana came to the Buddha, okay, and become the disciples of the Buddha. And then this is 1 Magha Puja, the 1,250 monks came to meet the Buddha, and the Buddha gave very profound teachings on that day.
What's the suit? The sutta?
Okay, and this is a quarrel between the monks. So Buddha fed up with living in a temple, so he ran away to the forest for that pansa. And then this monkey and elephant was were looking after the Buddha. And this came back to the Yasodhara, came back to the Kapilavastu and met with father and also his ex-wife. And this is Rahula and the Yasodhara pointing at the Buddha. Yeah. And this is Ananda, his step brother, wanted to have angels as a wife, and he became a monk, but later he attained the Arahat. This is a Rahula ordained as a first novice in the Buddhism. Yeah. And this is again the Devadatta wanted to kill the Buddha, so Devadatta hired these archers to kill the Buddha, but somehow after seeing the Buddha, he converted to Buddhism, become a follower. And this is again the Devadatta fed this elephant liquor and became a mad and running towards the Buddha to kill. With the metta bhavana, Buddha was able to calm the elephant.
In Sri Lanka, they say he was fed toddy.
Toddy, okay.
For many barrels of toddy.
And then here Devadatta was taken away by the earth. Yeah. And this is again servicing his father, just about to die. So Buddha came and visit the king Suddhodana. And this is again the ordination of a Bhikkhuni Sangha, Mahapajapati Gautami. There is Ananda. With the help of Ananda, they become the Bhikkhuni in the Buddha Sasana. And then this is Buddha went up to the Tavatimsa heaven to teach the Abhidhamma and to teach his mother to attain the Sotapanna. And this is Ananda went to get the water at the last year of the Buddha. Okay. This is Chunna. So this is the food. Okay. This is the food. So that you see, only offered to the Buddha, no monks have it. And this is preparing for the last seat. And the Buddha lie down. And then last disciples of the Buddha, the Subhadda. And then Buddha enter the Parinibbana. And this time again, like after the cremation, some of the monks cried, and then some of enjoyed. And this man was coming back from the cremation, showed this flower. And this is after the cremation, the Buddha's relics been distributed in 8 places. And this is the first Sanghayana, the Buddhist council took place. And this is the Ajatasatru's contribution. Okay, and I think we end here. If many other more to go. Okay.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
You see the first picture with when the Buddha was when Prince Siddhartha was under the rose apple tree. That was a picture of an eagle with a snake. What was that?
So that was, he was contemplating. He saw the cycle of killing.
Was this eagle that Garuda and the Naga? Is that just legend?
Just no. This is not a Garuda. No. It was the story is that when the plowing, when you plow, the animals come, the small insects, and there's a birds are taking, eating the and then okay, Tanchip, the story of that one rather than me saying. Okay, and let me show you this again. So Tantita Dhammo wants to know this picture.
Many pictures back.
The first picture. The first.
Wait,
Okay. So
yeah, that was.
this picture, or this is more clearer.
Yeah.
So in this picture, you see that there is the eagle, there is a snake, there's a birds, and there's a plowing. Okay. What this mean?
So it's like human, how our actions are causing more death, the cycle of death.
Mhm.
Was that
No.
what he saw?
No. Okay. The wordings are different. Though. This is I prepared for the teachings. Okay. This is my preparation. Okay.
I'm trying to.
You understand what does it mean?
This is when the Lord Buddha, when the Prince Siddhartha was 7 years old.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. There is a eagle, snake, birds, plowing. You got?
I can't
Let me
remember.
see any other picture. Okay.
Actually, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know too.
You don't know? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a picture. No, not here. Okay. So when you plow, yeah, when you plow in the field,
พลาวแปลว่าอะไร What's the meaning of พลาว
plow ไถนา
อ๋อ
okay, when you plow, insect will come, yeah, in the field. When insect comes, the birds will eat, yeah, birds comes and eat. With that bird eating insects, snake come out and snake eats the birds.
Good.
Okay, and then snake is taken by eagle. So the cycle of eating process, yeah. And then as soon as eagle was about flying away, a human hunter will hunt the eagle, yeah. So when the Prince Siddhartha was sitting there contemplating the cycle of this eating circle, hurting one another again and again, and the cycle is not ending. So that made him feel bored, sad, and that's how he went to meditation. Okay, that's how he went to meditation. So this is a cycle of and then when he was meditating, he was contemplating on that, and then he contemplate on the breath. Okay, and when he contemplate on the breath, he was attaining the absorption jhanas, and because of that jhanas, the legend says that although sun has moved from one direction to the another, the trees shadow didn't move. And that made all the people surprised, amazed, and requested his father, the King Suddhodana, to come to visit. And then having seen that amazing miracle, then King Suddhodana paid respect for the second time. Okay, so that's the story. Now I want you to prepare tomorrow, okay, on
That's it. Tomorrow I will go into the forest
okay.
I am too
with Tanto also because
Okay.
actually
หมอนิด fighting
actually Tanto should be tomorrow, but should be in class tomorrow. But this year I have sent his name to do the exam, but there was no his name.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
อ้าว
So
เหรอ
this year he doesn't have to do the exam. He will do next year. So he just decided to go into the forest
Okay.
with
Okay.
us.
All right then. So we'll see you after you return. Okay. For how many
Enjoy.
days?
I'll be back
for
on Saturday
Okay.
afternoon.
So we'll see Monday then. Okay. All right then. So
Bye-bye.
thank you and good luck with your trip to forest. Okay. And we'll see you.
I'm so sorry.
เอาโฮมเวิร์กเหรอ
ไม่ต้องละโอเค
เดี๋ยวท่านสุชน เดี๋ยว